OSEA Rocket League champions.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. But you wanna go play yourself. I'ma keep. You can try to save yourself. But you wanna go
Where is this muffin?
You can try to save yourself. But you wanna go play yourself.
Yeah, you gon' need 100 men, 100 scopes, 100 cans just for you to watch what I'm doing under the sun again. God-given gift, MCs doing the running man. If you want me to get it poppin', may cost 100 pence. Yeah, what I supply is all the throne is mine, take that. That high five got the upper hand. I'm too real, can't fake that. Who you know putting fear in them like this? You a vampire, still suck when you bite this. Lord forgive me for my sins, I'm feeling righteous. But they've been asking me to show me I might just. They didn't think I could do it, I had to demonstrate how the flow is so heavenly, keeping demons straight. Who they fooling? I showed them the jig is up again. When I asked them who is the best, they get to stuttering. Tell them
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself.
I came this far, nothing can't stop me now. They knock me down, but they can't count me out. I can't lose, I won't lose. I can't lose, I won't lose.
You're watching the Ontario School Esports Association spring season of Rocket League. This is week number 5. Welcome on in. Thanks for joining us. My name's Nate Goes Live. I'm joined in the broadcast booth by Rage Quit Andy as we get ready for 3 more matchups tonight. 6 teams in total in the final week of spring season weekly play. Moving into the finals, which happen on May 10th. You'll be able to watch that online here on this channel. So with our first game just starting in a couple minutes from now, let's take a look at who we're watching first. Very first matchup, the Emerald Bears taking off against the Savage Wheels. The two teams pretty much at the bottom of the scorecard. So both teams sort of looking to get a few last points on the scorecard before going into the finals. But it should be a pretty good matchup between the two, although I believe the Emerald Bears looking for their first win. So hopefully we'll see it tonight. Each matchup tonight featuring an underdog. So that's who I'll be rooting for each matchup, Andy. But anyways, we're going to take a short break. We're going to jump into the first match in a few minutes before it's going to start. So you can take this time to click a like and subscribe on the OSEA YouTube channel. Grab your favorite snack, and we'll be right back with you. Here we go. First match underway. Savage Wheels in blue, Emerald Bears in orange. It's called NKO. Wraps one around, looks for a teammate, finds Noise in front of the net. Demon Slayer up to clear that one away. And here's Noise trying to stop it at the midfield line. It gets all the way back, called NKO in the corner. As an attack from the Bears almost gets through a ground pinch as Harry is able to chip that thing back. Wishes up top looking for a stop. Demon Slayer able to collect, and there's Harry now working out of the corner as the Bears chip over the midfield line, starting an attack.
Wishes trying to keep this one going. NKO is going to corral in their own end. Dribble this one out to midfield. Trying to get a shot on, blocked by Demon Slayer. Wishes collects that corner boost pad, playing with the defense. Doesn't work out so well for them as NKO was able to get something towards the front of the net. But now back in their own zone, NKO up, trying to get a pass to a teammate out in the midfield area. Runs out of boost with the nose pointed down, so not able to continue that one. Christian able to get over two defenders, but Demon Slayer, they're back again. The steel wall of Demon Slayer keeping this a 0-0 game.
Great move by Noise across the front of the net there to keep that from getting any worse. Here's Demon Slayer, a perfect setup. Gets all the way across. Wish is unable to collect, so now called NKO crossing the midfield line if they can. And it's sent right back at their own net. Called NKO with an incredible touch just north of the goalpost. Some really close calls here so far as the Emerald Bears are putting quite an attack on here. Here's a backboarded shot. Demon Slayer able to send it to the side wall. Both of the Savage Wheels unable to make a connection. Christian with a great pass out front. And called NKO collecting on it. That's 1-0 for the Savage Wheels.
Yeah, nice pass here by Christian over to NKO, who just had to beat one defender. Tucks it inside the post. We're 2 minutes into this game, got our first goal, so looking like we have a defensive match on our hands thus far as Demon Slayer keeps another one out of the net. Harry not able to get a touch on that, but Demon Slayer follows up with a shot. Christian having to make a nice save. Harry not able to play that one, maybe wisely leaving that to regroup with the rest of their team. NKO not able to get the touch they were looking for, but wisely steers it across the goal mouth as Wishes tries to get something out to Demon Slayer. That's cleared away by Christian. As Wishes with a nice backflip, putting a shot on net. NKO having to make a desperation save there. They're now going to dribble this up, try and get a pass off the backboard to themselves, just missing wide. Wishes is going to take that down underneath and get it into the opposing end. Noise can't get past Harry. So Harry's going to put something up just towards the net. NKO having to clear that one out. A little bit of a panic defensive move there to keep this a 1-0 game.
There's NKO battling to try to clear the ball. Doing a great job of that so far. Way up high on the backboard, and there's another clear by NKO. Probably the third one we've seen across the mouth of the goal. There's Noise trying to pinch forward. It stays in position. Here's a dangerous one out front. None of the Bears able to get there in time to turn it into a shot. There's Noise looking to set up. It sets up. Teammate comes in. It's NKO. Just doesn't quite make it there on time this time. Christian keeping the attack going. They've got possession up high off the side wall. Chipping down. It wouldn't have made it in, and it's cleared away. Demon Slayer having a bit of a struggle in the corner. Intact Harry taking over. Running into Noise around the midfield line, so it's back for Wishes to deal with. And right before getting demoed, Wish is able to keep that thing moving forward. Here comes called NKO at the center line. It gets by. It's bouncing at the net. And the follow-up couldn't do it. Here's Christian. Second shot goes wide. Christian trying to turn it into a third opportunity. A great shot at the net, and Demon Slayer getting just under it enough to push that shot wide in the net.
Christian trying to keep that attack going. Harry able to get it off the sidewall for Demon Slayer to put a shot down off the backboard of the opposing goal. Wishes puts a shot towards the net, excuse me, over one defender, not able to beat Christian, who makes a great save to keep this a 1-0 game. And NKO is going to gather that at midfield and take it to a completely open net for a 2-0 lead.
It was close there. The Bears put all three teammates on the offensive attack. It almost paid off. It was a nice shot from Wishes, getting by two of the defenders. Third one stopped it. So here we are, 2-0 with 10 seconds just about on the clock. So that's where this one's going to go to the Savage Wheels. They're looking for one more as the buzzer is counting down. 1 second left on the clock. So game one going to the Savage Wheels. Pretty tight match, though. Probably could have went either way. For a while, quite an attack, actually, Andy Cohen, from the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears put a lot of pressure on, and the Savage Wheels were able to kind of fend that off, as you see 3 saves there by NKO and Christian. 3 saves as well by Demon Slayer. He was the defensive stalwart of that team. But yeah, they were able to capitalize on a couple really aggressive plays by the Emerald Bears. And that's how this one goes down, 2-0. Just a quick reminder to everybody, teams do get points just for showing up. So it's not just about scoring, it's about being here. And we appreciate everybody showing up for all 5 weeks. As the teams take the field for this second match. Looks like we'll have Wishes and NKO going for this kickoff. We'll see who gets there first and gets that all-important first touch. As NKO gets the better of that one over Wishes with the speed flip, and Noise is going to come barreling through. Maybe a little miscommunication on the defensive end here between Demon Slayer and Wishes. So Noise just puts that in the wide open net. We've got our first goal pretty early on here.
Oh, it's great starting a match with a goal 3 seconds in. So the second kickoff, Demon Slayer putting a bit of a wall up. Here's Intact Harry on the sidewall. Puts a long dropping shot towards the net, so it's collected here as Noise now looking to cross over the midfield line. Christian there to help out as an attack comes in from the Bears. Called NKO trying to clear. A shot from the Bears goes wide. So the Bears still putting on a great attack here. Here's a dangerous one. Called NKO just kind of redirecting at the net. Finds the goal post. The second shot just getting behind Wishes, who wasn't able to stop that one. So 2 points for the Savage Wheels.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate touch there by Demon Slayer. It just bounces off the tire of the car and not the actual physical car itself, and the ball bounces backwards. And the Savage Wheels take full advantage of that unfortunate touch, as they have a 2-goal lead with only 40 seconds into this match. There's Noise in the corner trying to stop the oncoming attack of Demon Slayer, who puts it out front, but Christian able to get it back into the corner. Demon Slayer turning around, probably going to collect some boost. Noise is going to take advantage of that free space and gets it out front and puts it in themselves. Christian almost getting there for that one, but a solid follow-up by Noise. It's a 3-0 game here.
Yeah, we've been there before. Got kind of a difficult read, too, coming down from the ceiling with that much momentum. Both players able to get into the right spot, it looked, but ended up being a pinch. Here's Wishes. And it's stopped quickly by Noise, followed up. Here's Christian shooting through the corner. It's going to drop down in front. Wishes is up, gets a piece of that one. Called NKO with a great pass out front. Christian with a great read, but it stays wide of the net. And Demon Slayer and Intact Harry collecting possession here. So there's Harry over the midfield line, running into a couple of the Savage Wheels along the way, so the ball stays at midfield. NKO picking up. Gets by Harry. Demon Slayer into the corner. It ends up being a pass to the opponents. So Noise gets a shot out of that. Here's Called NKO interrupting midair, as the team's still battling for possession over the midfield line.
Noise putting a nice shot on net. Wishes having to make a critical save to keep this one a 3-0 game, excuse me, as Christian was out in front waiting for any kind of rebound. Wishes now clearing it down into the opposing end, trying to get something out to Harry, But Noise makes a save on Harry's shot, keeping this 3-0. Christian's up, trying to get a pass out to a teammate out front, but Demon Slayer wisely gets a touch on that, sends it back towards the midfield. Noise maybe waiting for a touch from Harry that didn't go the way they were planning. So Harry able to get this down into the opposing corner, but NKO is going to gather, bring it out to the midfield off the sidewall. Can't beat Wishes, but Christian's going to take that ball, make a little bounce shot that Demon Slayer has to deal with. And now the ball's heading back the other way into the Savage Wheels end.
A little bit of a mix-up here. Got a little crazy on the side wall. 4 players fighting for possession. Here's Demon Slayer coming off the side wall in the corner, able to get a second touch. Didn't get too far. And we're at midfield. A big shot from Christian goes high and wide. It might find the upper corner. It finds the goalpost, and then again, Noise able to redirect that thing back at the net, and Christian trying to help out. Nothing of it. Called NKO, chipping up high. Here's Wishes to collect. Just getting enough of it. We're over the midfield line. Christian squeaking by without getting bumped there. Noise with a nice shot. That was deflected wide by Demon Slayer. As we head back towards the Savage Wheels end, that's dangerous. Sort of guided in, and Wishes knew exactly what to do with this.
Yeah, unfortunate touch here by NKO. Maybe trying to get a pass over to a teammate, not knowing that Wishes is there. Kind of served that on a platter. And they cut the lead to 2 with still a minute and a half left. Plenty of time. Just got to play mistake-free Rocket League as Wishes takes this one off the sidewall, sending it towards the front of the goal. Demon Slayer not able to get there in time as NKO gets a piece of that, sending this across. Noise and Demon Slayer collide, and Demon Slayer getting the better of that exchange. Wishes wisely leaving that one. Gets underneath 3 defenders. No one to beat but the post, and they tuck it in. They've cut the lead to 1 with still a minute to play here in this second match.
Check out the wishbone here, goal explosion. Pretty sure I saw a wishbone. Oh, no, never mind, I didn't. Maybe I did. Thought I did. All right, 1 goal to go, 1 minute left. This is game number 2 for these 2 teams. And the Bears fighting for some redemption. Here's Christian over the midfield line. Great save by Wishes. As Noise heads up. Stopped, ran into intact Harry. Midfield, up in the air. Called NKO, hitting all the way across. And that's no problem. Harry able to collect. Gets it down in front. No teammate there. Demon Slayer with a quick save in front of the net. Holding this game at a 1-goal lead. 23 seconds on the clock. Great play on the back wall there by Demon Slayer. As they still just can't break out of a defensive position. They've got a little bit of time. This is at the net. Noise able to clear it out. Is there another team there? The Bears setting up off the backboard. Seconds left on the clock. They're going to have to keep this thing in the air. Not an easy thing to do. Looks like it's going to drop, but what a great effort here by the Bears. It's still up in the air, but a long way to go for the Bears as the boost tanks run dry. This is off the backboard, and that's it for the... Well, maybe not. I won't say it. Okay.
Never say never.
Yeah, you're right. The caster curse, man. What a great match that was.
Yeah, valiant effort by the Bears to come back in that one. Virtually stopping any sort of momentum from the Savage Wheels with a minute and a half left, bringing it back to 3-2, and almost coming back and tying that game. That was great effort, and clearly the feeling out process has finished, and I think Game 3 is about to be a little more exciting.
There's definitely a chance. I mean, I'd love to see the Bears come away with the W on the Game 3 here, and they are already on the field ready to go. So this is game number 3. We got 2 more matchups coming up after this, so stick around with us. Kickoff now. 5 minutes. Goals are reset. Right off the face-off. Maybe another one for the Savage Wheels. It's on the goalpost. I'm sure they would have loved another 3-second goal. Ground pinch going all the way back into the Savage Wheels corner. As Noise Chips it the other direction. Now Noise putting one in front. One of the Bears shows up, quickly responded to by Noise again. Noise might have a shot. It's a 1v1 here. Well defended by Demon Slayer, showing great patience. Here's Wishes on the sidewall. It's around, pinched out. All the way back down. The Bears are going to have to start again. Noise looking for a teammate. Interrupted by Demon Slayer twice. Great play by Demon Slayer. The Emerald Bears looking really strong out here. Here's Intact Harry with a shot. It's blocked quickly by NKO. Off the backboard into the side. And a long outside shot by Christian. It's hit up high, so he'll get a second shot. And chipped away into the corner as now the tide is turned and the Savage Wheels able to get some momentum.
Yeah, that was a really nice defensive display by Demon Slayer. And Noise just kind of pouncing on that ball that nobody got to from the Bears. Really good pressure early on, though, by the Bears. As Wishes gets another favorable kickoff. Misses that one in the corner, but Demon Slayer there. Harry trying to come in. NKO beats them to the ball just a little quicker. So NKO over midfield, passing to Noise, who gets over top of Wishes. But Harry and Demon Slayer coming together to clear that ball back to midfield. As Wishes and NKO go into the corner. Wishes getting the better of that one, but Harry not able to get in front of the ball in front of the Savage Wheels net. So that one continues back into the Emerald Bears end as Wishes now can't get past NKO in the midfield. And NKO gonna take a quick shot, redirect, flip reset in the air here. And just puts that one over top of two defenders, splitting them actually, to take a 2-0 lead here with 3:10.
Yeah, so far the Savage Wheels goals have just kind of came out of nowhere. The times you think that one's going to find the back of the net, they haven't. And then all of a sudden, they're quickly able to find the pocket. Here's a chip in front of the Bears net. In front of the Wheels net. Christian and NKO working their way forward. Here's a shot from Christian. That's 3-0 for the Savage Wheels.
Yeah, unfortunately, a dead sidecar touch there by Wishes. Not able to get enough momentum on that to keep it out of harm's way. And you're just not going to see a miss on an open net from any player on the pitch right now. NKO collecting that off the kickoff and pretty much unabated into the net, just floating over top of the one defender. And that's going to be 4-0. With just under 3 to play here.
That was a great little play. Holding possession. Keeping that thing on the hood of the car. Here's the kickoff. It's Christian and Demon Slayer. Noise hot in pursuit. Wishes is going to have to clear it. It's bumped above. And the Savage Wheels now just applying a great deal of pressure off these kickoffs.
Yeah, you'll see Noise. I think they actually intended to do this. Kind of play in front of the ball, and luckily got the bump. I don't think that ball goes in if they don't get that bump. But we're at the 5-goal limit, so we should see the Emerald Bears kind of take a defensive back seat here. It's part of the rules of the OSEA that if you have a 5-goal lead. Sorry, the Wheels, yes. You have a 5-goal lead. Yeah, it's not nice to run the score up on anybody. So we just play defensively until a goal is scored against you. And as I say that, Wish is putting a shot on net just wide as Demon Slayer collects, tries to get to Harry. Neither of them able to connect on that one, so NKO just wisely sends it across the field to try and gather some boost and keep possession a little bit longer. As Wishes puts a shot on net, has to be saved by Christian to keep this a 5-0 game. Demon Slayer's going to corral in midfield, tries to flick this one in. NKO will wisely steer that into the corner. As NKO just trying to eat some clock up in their own end. Passing between the teammates. Noise, Christian, and NKO just kind of passing the ball back and forth, maybe working on a little team play here, setting some plays up. As Wishes gets a good touch on that one, sends it towards the goal, but NKO is going to clear that one out, try and play it off the ceiling to a teammate, but sends it back on their own goal just wide. Harry and Wishes now coming together. Harry trying to get a double touch to a teammate out front, but cleared away by NKO as Demon Slayer came flaming through, not able to get a shot off as Harry doesn't read the no touch from Christian. And Demon Slayer just sending it back in front of the net for Wishes, who can't beat NKO to that ball.
The one thing that's been very evident in this series is the improvement of the Emerald Bears. The team play and just the mechanics from each of the players as Wishes tucks one in the upper corner. From the last time we've seen the Emerald Bears play, there's just such a noticeable improvement.
Yeah, and especially defensively. They've been really good of saves. Wishes and Demon Slayer really working well in their own end to keep the ball out of their nets. As Wishes and Noise come together at that kickoff, and Demon Slayer is going to send this down into the Savage Wheels end. Demon Slayer trying to get a pass over to Harry, who puts a shot up, but Noise going to save that one. That one looked like it was a guaranteed goal, and Noise comes out of nowhere and makes that save. As Noise tries to put a shot on net, that just goes wide. Harry able to clear that to midfield. As NKO tries to gather and set something up for their teammates. Pass down to Christian just wide. Bumps Demon Slayer out of the way. Maybe they're trying to set up another pass here as Noise comes in. Gets a touch. That's saved by Wishes, and Demon Slayer demoing so that nobody can be there for the next shot. That's how this game's going to end. 5-1 as the Savage Wheels fall to, the Emerald Bears fall to the Savage Wheels in this first match of the evening.
Well, coming up next, we'll have the Panthers taking on the OCVI Red Hawks. And one's due to start in just a few minutes. So we'll take a quick standby, update all of our graphics, and then be back with you in just a few. Stretch your legs, grab a drink. We'll see you in just a few minutes. go. Jumping straight into it. We've got the Panthers in blue, the Red Hawks 1 in orange. Farrah Fibonacci clearing to the midline. There's Aiden meeting Necro right on the center line. Dead weight able to get up there and get a shot that it stays just wide of the net. Judd following up. That's a must-save for Brody and Brooke. And Necro with a great touch there midfield. Heading backwards, they were able to hit that thing to the side so it didn't roll into the empty net. Dead weight over the last defender. Aiden doubles back quickly. And that was a dangerous moment. Aiden able to clear it away before getting demoed. Judd getting a shot in. It goes up high, wide. Deadweight finds the backboard, and a follow-up from Necro registers as a shot, but it's blocked, so now we're down into the Redhawks end. Necro into the corner. Brody and Brooke with a teammate, so no one there to follow up. Here's Necro getting an attack started, able to get to the boost quickly. So Brody and Brooke going to have to find somewhere else. There's Deadweight and Necro teaming up. Off the backboard, cleared away by Farrah Fibonacci. Sitting at the midfield line, Brody and Brooke finds the backboard. Deadweight clearing out. And just a fight for possession here as the two teams are feeling each other out.
Yeah, high pace, high action thus far in this game as Brody and Brooke bumping Aiden out of the way to get that one cleared. Necro's up, gets it over, but not able to get past. So this one just kind of stalling out near the midfield as Farrah makes a great save on the touch from Deadweight. Necro's going to scoop it out, try and pass over to somebody in the corner. No teammates able to get there in time, so Farrah able to bring this back down into the Red Hawks end. Farrah not able to get that touch off the sidewall as Aiden tries to send something out. Necro's going to get a good piece of that challenge and get that one back all the way into the Panthers end. As Farrah collects off the ceiling, trying to get something to a teammate. As Brody and Brooke now tries to keep the pressure on, but Necro's going to grab that one just inside the midfield line as Judd flips one up. Gets over a defender. Aiden putting a shot on. Necro having to clear that one away. Brody and Brooke trying to keep the pressure on as teams are cycling, trying to gather boost. We've seen some prolonged periods of pressure, which usually drains the boost tank of the defending team. As Deadweight now gathers in the corner, looking for a teammate to pass to. Sees Judd and Necro coming, but Brody and Brooke wisely scooping that one away, stopping any sort of attack in its tracks.
Quick shot there. Stopped by Brody and Brooke, followed up by Judd. We've seen 3 minutes of non-stop action here. Brody and Brooke setting up. And Deadweight almost able to get a hit out of it. Farrah's clearing. It's over the midfield line. Not far, though. Necro chipping one. It's off the sidewall. Slowly rolling at the net and followed up by Deadweight. First goal of the game goes to the Redhawks.
Yeah, that's, I think, how this was going to go. Just the first team to kind of capitalize on a blunder was going to get the first goal. Little too much push of the pressure by the Panthers. And the Redhawks are going to take advantage of that. As Brody and Brooke goes up off that kickoff, trying to put something towards the net, bumped away by Deadweight. So Necro able to corral it in the corner and send it down into the Panthers' end. As Aiden trying to send this over to a teammate across the mouth of the goal. Always a dangerous play as Judd bounces out to Deadweight, who perfectly controls their car to get over the defense and tuck it right underneath the crossbar. What a touch by Deadweight. I'm not sure what else the defense could have done there.
Well, it's 2 now for the Red Hawks. 90 seconds or so on the clock. Here's a kickoff. Farrah Fibonacci getting the better of it. Followed up by Brody and Brooke. Hit way off to the side wall. Finds the backboard. Second touch from Farrah again, but no teammate close enough to turn that into an opportunity. So we're back down in the Panthers' end. 1 minute to go left. Panthers looking for 2 goals. There's Aiden stuck at the midfield line, fighting with Judd. So Aiden still working, trying to get over the midfield line. Gets a hit up in the corner. Second touch, beautifully done, but I think it sort of threw off the teammate who was in pursuit of the opportunity. But a great play nonetheless. Here's Judd A little too much power. It's all the way across the net. Scooped by dead weight. And sadly puts it back towards their own net. Here's Aiden now fighting with Necro. Aiden able to get by. Also gets by Judd. Necro returns, scraps possession. From midfield as Brody and Brook finds the back of the net. And they need one more to see overtime.
Yeah, it looked like a little miscommunication there between Deadweight and Necro. And Brody and Brook going to pounce on that one. Cutting the lead to 1. Still 24 seconds left, so definitely not out of the question for our Panthers team to come back here. As Farah tries to send that one down, waits for teammates. As Deadweight's going to collect from midfield. Sees they have Necro, who gets a nice little pinch touch off of Deadweight. And they're going to restore their 2-goal lead. As
that was
OCVI
beautiful.
Redhawks, yeah, that was a wonderful team play. As the OCVI Redhawks kind of look to take this first one with 2 goals remaining, or sorry, 2 goals up with only 12 seconds remaining. Aiden dangerously in front of their own net, catches that off the post. And that's how this game's going to end. 3-1 for our OCVI Redhawks team. With some promising play there by the Panthers. Able to keep the game scoreless for the first 3 minutes.
That was a crazy start to this game. Really impressive. 4 shots by Necro. Just 1 goal though. Deadweight, 2 shots, 2 goals. Heck of a start. So the Redhawks take the first one of 3. Panthers coming up with a new game plan. We always notice an increased game pace in the second game. It'll be interesting between these two teams as the first one was pretty action-packed. Like Andy said, 3 minutes of non-stop action at the beginning. So here we go. Kickoff. Clock's reset. Judd and Aiden meet at the center. It heads back into the Redhawks end. Deadweight takes possession. Almost able to get over the midfield line, but it's come back into their corner. Now Judd's going to take a shot. Judd passing midair to Necro. Just a beautiful play. Great passing plays by the Redhawks here. Here's a backboard from Aiden, cleared away by Necro. That had to happen. And now Necro has a shot. Hit all the way back by Brody and Brook. So big clears coming from the Panthers, but nothing turning really into an attack. Maybe this will. There's Farah Fibonacci in the right place watching this as it gets set up by Brody.
Yeah, Brody making a nice play to roll away from that defender. Farah making no mistake, tucking that one in. They've got their first lead of the series. 1-0, just over 4 minutes and 20 seconds here to play. Judd and Necro maybe having some communication there. Necro telling them they got it. Tried to put something towards the net. Brody and Brooks going to clear that one away back towards midfield. Deadweight's going to put a shot off the backboard. That was swept away by Brody and Brook. Now Necro from the corner, trying to get something out to a teammate. Nobody around, so Farah just going to pop that one up. And it looks like Brody and Brook making a spectacular save to keep this one 1-0. Necro hitting the crossbar and Aiden keeping out the touch down off the ground as Farah sends this one towards the goal that Deadweight's going to have to clear. Would have been a goal. Wasn't credited as a save, but Farah and Judd, now coming in, making no mistake on that wide open goal as Deadweight gets a good favorable bounce off of that 50. And we've got a tie game.
Yeah, Judd just launching that one in at 70 miles an hour. 3:30 on the clock. Deadweight beating Brody and Brook to the ball, but it's Aiden who's the next to touch it. Shot stayed wide. Collected by Necro, who's up with half a tank of boost, ready to get by Farah if they can. Great stop by Farah as Deadweight keeps the attack going for the Redhawks. That's cleared away by Brody. All the way over. Judd scoops it. team play by the Panthers there. Able to get the demo, turned it into a shot. Nothing of it, though. Here's dead weight with one defender to beat. Gets by, loses possession. Necro helping out. Great play by Necro here. It stays out somehow. And his follow-up from Judd was stopped very, very close there. So as we hit the halfway mark in this match, or just about. Here's a shot. It stays wide. This is getting really dangerous for the Panthers as the Red Hawks are just slamming shot after shot. Look at the control by Necro midair there. Set up for dead weight. It's a perfect touch. Stays just a little bit too high. As the Panthers now breaking out, they get one in front. It's chipped away by Judd. Brody and Brook abandoning the midair. Dead weight with a great clear. Brody and Brook with a shot. We're back at midfield, Andy. This is crazy.
Yeah, there's been some really high sustained pressure by the Red Hawks, but unwavering defense by this Panthers team, even with low boost or no boost. Aiden trying to get that over to Brody and Brook. They're just not able to get there in time. No boost in the tank as Judd comes flying in, trying to send this one down. As Deadweight has to make a critical save to keep this one tied. As Necro now passes down to Deadweight, who carries this one out into the front as Necro makes no mistake over top of the defender. We'll see here in this replay that Brody and Brook getting an unfortunate touch off the front of their car. And Necro capitalizing on that mistake. 2-1 for the Red Hawks. Just over a minute and a half to play. Still plenty of time. Brody and Brook now back to gather this one. Nice little pass out to Aiden, who's going to put a shot down just wide of the net. Necro playing off the back wall. Wisely dives underneath the oncoming attacker. As Judd tries to get a pass over to Deadweight. That's going to be blocked by Farah. Aiden's up for this ball, trying to put a shot right under the top corner. Deadweight making an incredible desperation save. As Brody and Brook puts a shot on that, Necro has to also steer away. Deadweight now out of boost, trying to get a little pinch over to a teammate as Judd pops that up. Brody and Brook's going to say thank you for giving me that free 50. Farah now capitalizing off the Necro mistouch in the corner as Judd and Brody kind of battle for the ball. Judd comes away the victor in that one. Trying to get a pass out. Aiden wisely bounces it off the back wall. And Brody and Brook now getting a pass over to Aiden. He tries to put a shot up. Necro's going to take that one and send it back to midfield as Brody and Brook pops up the 50 ball in the midfield.
Up high is Necro. Couldn't make anything of it. Brody, 2 stops, keeping the attack going. Farah trying to help out. Great mechanics from both teams. Seen some great passing plays. Here's Brody and Brook at midfield. The only defender left. Still looking for one more. The Panthers need to tie up. This is going to be it. Here's Farah. Tried to keep it on their car. It's bounced up high. It hasn't touched the ground yet. But Judd moving in, looking for one for the road. It's chipped up and just not close enough for the Panthers to get underneath it and keep that one going. But wow, what a action-packed game that was once again.
Yeah, that was an offensive juggernaut in OCVI. How many shots did they have in that one moment? Like 4 or 5 that the Panthers were just kind of blocking and keeping out. Great job by the Panthers to keep the game as tight as it was. Almost coming back there near the end.
Well, we get ready to go to Game 3. OCVI Red Hawks now with 2 wins in this series. Don't forget, we got another 3 games with 2 new teams after this. We'll be watching the Golden Bears play. So we jump into game number 3 between these two. It's Brody and Brook and Necro meeting at center, followed up by Deadweight, who chips one. It's going towards the net. Brody and Brook able to get enough to clear it away to the side. Farah's up against Judd, trying to get this thing out of their own end. Deadweight midfield, off the ceiling. It's down. Farah collects, runs into Necro, who's up on the side wall. Necro looking for a second touch, gets it. It's floating dangerously So no real shot came of that play. Farah trying to dig out. Aiden able to get in between and keep that thing moving. Now Aiden with no boost in the tank somehow manages to get a touch on it. It's popped out, but Judd moving it back to midfield. Now here's Judd against Farah. Farah puts a wall up, leaves it for Brody. Brody needs to flip it in. Necro able to read that one, and now their own shot maybe up in the air. The net was practically open. They find the crossbar, and dead weight sort of falling away from that one, so couldn't get the second hit. Things moving in slow motion here in front of the Panthers net. We're at midfield, down to the corner. Redhawks, there's Judd. Out finds Necro. Necro across the midfield line. The ball goes into the corner. Aiden's going to dig it out. Rolling off the ceiling. Aiden gets a second hit. Brody and Brooks sending it's at the net. And dead weight might have knocked that one high of the net. 0-0 coming up to the 3-minute mark here.
Dead weight having to play a little bit of defense in the corner. And Brody and Brooke going to make a perfect challenge on Necro. Or sorry, Judd. Getting the better of that exchange. And that goes right under the crossbar. And the first goal of the game goes to the Panthers, who were seemingly stuck in their own end for most of this. But it's all about pouncing on those opportunities when they present themselves. And playing a solid defensive game before that. As Fair tries to get the touch on that one to send it out front. Aiden trying to play this up the sidewall to a teammate. Gets a bump on dead weight, but that doesn't deter them as they get a pass down to Judd. And then a double floor pinch sends that ball just wide. As all three of the Panthers are on the same sidewall, which when you've got players like dead weight who can scoop that up from the midfield, they're just going to drive that straight into the net to tie this one up. And now we've got a tie game with just over 2.5 to play. Still plenty of time. The Panthers and OCVI Redhawks have played a pretty tight game thus far.
I was thinking that, man. You look at the just the physical time, you know, with the games moving so quickly, with so many segments with no goals. Okay, there's a quick one, but yeah, we're moving through this matchup pretty quickly here. So we're halfway through game 3. There's one sliding just past Necro, as now the Redhawks have taken a 1-goal lead halfway through the game. Judd running into Brody midfield. Deadweight, I know what they were looking to do there, just have the ball kind of gain some momentum by not jumping. Didn't quite happen though. The ball floated right over. Here's a shot from Deadweight, making up for that. 3-1 for the Redhawks.
Yeah, Deadweight with the great read here. Just getting there and just before Brody and Brooke, as Brody and Brooke was driving backwards, not able to get any forward momentum in time. 3-1, just over 2 minutes. Judd left to go collect this one in the corner. Meets Farah as Brody and Brooke tries to get a bounce out. There's Necro now running a little disturbance. Necro and Judd kind of missing the ball together. Brody and Brooke having to play some stellar goalkeeping there to keep this a 2-goal game. As Deadweight can't get that away from Farah, who puts a shot towards the net. Necro trying to go for a bounce shot over top of a team or a defender. Not able to get the better of that exchange. Here's Judd, who's just going to send a booming clear off the back wall where Necro tries to get something, but Farah sends it back down into the Redhawks' end.
Aiden up high. Finds the backboard, looking for a teammate. Almost had one. Connection almost made. Quickly cleared away. Here's Judd, finds the goalpost. It looked like it might have been going in. Here's Judd going up for another touch. Able to interrupt the clear. There's Brody and Brooke now trying to use the sidewall to get by. And that is staying in the Panthers' goal area. Bouncing quite dangerously. Great clear from Brody and Brooke, getting a save for that. Dead weight in the corner. Looking to do something here. That was a really interesting pass they just did. Dead weight up top. Doesn't get by midfield. Farrah Fibonacci able to get in the way. Here's Necro looking to get something out front. Teammate in pursuit. It was Judd who had to bail. 30 seconds left here. Judd sending one up top. Brody and Brooke quickly reacting. Farrah Fibonacci through the corner. No teammate there. A long clear from dead weight. 15 seconds left and counting. This one needs to count, and it might. Judd able to bounce one in here.
That's all thanks to dead weight getting a demo on the baseline there of the goal. And just Aiden not able to get back in time after being demoed. Judd with the slow bounce reverse shot. You don't see that too often. As Judd and Necro get the better of that kickoff, doubling up there. Aiden just going to send this one back towards the midfield line. Necro's up with the shot. It bounces off a defender and tucks underneath the crossbar. And that's how this one's going to end, 5-1, as the OCVI Redhawks take this match 3-0.
Yeah, well, what a great matchup that was to watch. We got another matchup coming up in a few minutes. We're a little bit early, so we'll take a little bit of a standby before we get into it. But our next matchup will be the Golden Bears and the Bay Ridge Blazers. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to hit like and subscribe on the OSEA YouTube channel. We'll be back with you in just a few minutes. Well, here we go. Starting quickly here. We got the Bay Ridge Blazers in blue with Chapa. I'm sorry. I gotta catch up here, Andy. Oh, it was just Chapa in orange who got the shot off. I'm sorry, that happened too quickly for me. So the Bears, the top-seeded team in the spring season, starting off with a goal as Nate is getting his bearings in this match. Here's G deflecting into the corner. It's dug out by Oakski, who answers back immediately. We're 15 seconds in, both teams with the goal.
Yeah, this has been a really quick 15 seconds. Oops. G and Oakski coming together as Master is up. Runs out of boost, so not able to continue that. But gets the lucky early drop off the back wall. And a rare kind of mistake here by Jorf. As Master gonna put their team up 2-1. Here's Chapa and Space Kangaroo meeting at midfield. G's gonna send this one down towards the goal as Oakski clears that one away. Oakski now pops it up, trying to get something over to Jorf in the midfield, who goes underneath the defender. G gonna completely clear this one away. Chapa getting the better of that 50, leaves it for G, who tries to play it off the back wall. No teammates with them as Space Kangaroo now puts a shot towards the defending goal. Just wide. Jorf's up. Jorf gets it over a defender. G still in the net, able to make that save. Oakski putting another shot on. Master making that save. And Jorf continuing this pressure.
Well, we knew this would be a fast-paced match. Just over a minute in. Here comes Oakski for number 2. Tie game. You knew it'd be quick-paced. Great setup from Jorf, just high of the net. Oakski following up. And it's going to be like that. They're going to have to find the gaps here. So with 3.5 on the clock, it's Jorf and Master, both with a teammate hot in pursuit. Oakski getting demoed by G. Off the side wall, almost pointed at the net. Here comes Oakski with another opportunity maybe. Had to bail as the Bears were sort of getting there first. A Space Kangaroo now up on the ceiling. Met by Jorf. Here's Oakski following up. What a great team play to turn that into an opportunity. Master up into the corner. Space Kangaroo there. And it's bounced down and up real quick. G and Jorf meeting up at the ceiling. A pinch goes high. Connected by Oakski, but the shot goes wide. Oakski looking for a pass out front. Nothing really coming of it. Here's Jorf. Pinballing over a couple players here. G credited with the save. Here's Chapa now. Finds the backboard over to G. It's off the goalpost. And followed up by Master again off the goalposts. Here's Chapa from the side wall. Nothing happens. Here's Jorf looking to clear over the midfield line as it's hit back towards the backboard by G. Jorf clearing out.
Jorf trying to continue this one on. Master just going to touch that one to the side wall as Oakski puts a shot just wide. And Jorf trying to get the deflection while driving in front, sends that just high. Space Kangaroo now clearing it all the way back to their own zone, trying to set something up as Oakski takes a big, powerful shot off the sidewall. G has to get up pretty quickly as Master now takes that missed touch at the midfield and makes no mistake and puts another one in for the Bay Ridge Blazers, who are up 3-2.
Yeah, what a touch there. It's kickoff now. Master getting there just before Jorf. G following up. Great pre-jump, great speed. Unfortunately, Chapa not able to connect. And a long clear all the way into the corner as the Blazers are worried. Jorf finds the backboard. Teammate not able to connect. Here's Space Kangaroo fighting with Master in the corner. Able to get one in front, but Choppa clearing it away. Now Choppa running into Oakski midair. The ball still bouncing in front of the net. Oakski setting one up. Jorf finds the goalpost again. And Jorf redirecting in front. Oakski was about to probably knock that one back as Master was able to clear that out. Here's Choppa up in the corner. Down to G, who gets a shot out. Space Kangaroo steering it away. At the midfield line, the team's still battling for possession. 1 minute left in play. Golden Bears looking for one more.
Space Kangaroo trying to keep this pressure up. As Jorf comes in from the sidewall. Tries to get the double touch, but it's a pass over to Space Kangaroo, who just can't quite get there. G's now going to corral off their own corner. Can't get past Jorf. As Choppa takes that Jorf shot and steers that away. Space Kangaroo trying to get something off the back wall to a teammate. Master going to bounce that one over Jorf and Oakski. They've got a 2-on-0, but Space Kangaroo comes flying in as Master not able to put enough on that shot to Oakski and Jorf. Now looking for a touch to get the equalizer. There's 12 seconds left in this one. Master and Choppa both up. G gonna kind of just stop it in the attacking zone. G missing that shot. Maybe trying to run some timeout. Choppa can't get it to touch the ground as Jorf is able to keep it up. Jorf trying to get a third touch. Oakski able to get the ball off of G's hood. And now Choppa wisely hitting this one to the ground, and the Bay Ridge Blazers are gonna take the first game.
Well, that was action-packed. Thanks for the show, both teams. That was exciting.
That match made me feel like I'm 10 years older. It was high-paced, lots of action. Fun stuff to watch.
Yeah, so it's playing with me a bit. The titles of the teams are like on the screen.
Incorrect.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
It's really throwing me.
SJSH, they're the Golden Bears. And the Bay Ridge Blazers are actually
guys,
the BSS team.
Oh my god. We do our best here to keep the graphics updated, but
we have trouble telling time on a digital clock, so this is really
pretty much it. Like
really pushing our faculties to the
that's
limit.
That's it. I'm out of gray matter. We're doing our best here, folks. It's week 5, though, and it's been a great run. Andy and I really enjoy spectating these matches and doing our best to call them for you. So here we go into game 2, and I don't know which team is which, but here's the kickoff. And 4 players running into that center circle. There's G all the way across. Jorf able to get up and sort of keep an attacker from getting a shot out of that. Space Kangaroo on the side wall leaves it for Jorf. And Space Kangaroo isn't able to get that second shot. Oakski sending one up and down. Space Kangaroo collects. Looking to set a teammate up here. Master on the back wall. Ready to clear it away. There's a pinch way out. Space Kangaroo's there. Jorf kind of backing off, going for some boost, getting ready. Keeping an eye on things. A pass from Oakski. Jorf was there. Shot went wide. We kind of saw that play come together. Here's Master going over the center line. Runs into Oakski. Oakski back to Space Kangaroo. Choppa now having a look. It's Oakski able to make the clearing save. G now setting one up, leaving it for a teammate. Space Kangaroo running into somebody in the net. That was close. We've hit 1 minute of gameplay in game 2 as Jorf finds the pocket.
What a pass here by Space Kangaroo. You're going to see them corral this one and look for that pass. Jorf getting a demo earlier on in that play to free themselves up. So now they've got their first lead here as the Golden Bears. 1-0 over top of the Bay Ridge Blazers in orange. As Jorf getting that kickoff touch close to the opposing net. G having to make a pretty good touch to get that out of harm's way. as Space Kangaroo comes flying in. No teammates out in front able to make anything of that pass out as Jorf sends this one back to the midfield, and Space Kangaroo puts another shot towards the goal. And I always say the best defense is a good offense. If you're having to save a bunch of balls going towards your goal, it's hard for you to get any sort of attack going. So here's Master now trying to go all the way down the field. Runs out of boost, not able to keep the handle on that one as Space Kangaroo and Jorf trying to get something going in their own end. Oakski already back, ready to get this one going for the next attack as G's going to collect this one. It's a 3v1. Jorf somehow reads that correctly, makes the save to keep this a 1-0 game. Choppa with a fancy little grab off the ground there, but Oakski gonna read that one and send it all the way down. Space Kangaroo leaving it for Jorf. Oakski not around. Jorf getting a demo. Now gonna collect at midfield. Can't get past Choppa. Space Kangaroo and Jorf both going into the corner. Master getting the better of that ordeal. He gets over 2 defenders, trying to put it out for a teammate, and Choppa comes in at the very last second and tucks that in the post to tie it at 1.
There's Master bringing it around. Jorf and Oakski maybe almost running into each other. Both kind of diving in, trying to get on the right side of the net in order to kick it out. So 1-1 halfway through game 2. Again, almost every player involved with the kickoff there. Space Kangaroo collecting it before getting demoed by Master, who's got it over to Choppa. Choppa couldn't get a shot. Jorf to Kangaroo, up to Oakski, who fakes midair. A long booming clear from Master. G misses the connection. There's Choppa to follow up. Couldn't find the backboard. It's cleared away by Oakski. So Master off the backboard. Jorf's able to bring it to the side, down and around. Quarter tank of boost for Jorf. Now it's empty. Didn't quite get out in front. G able to clear it away with a little bit of help from Master. And not sure what happened there. Space Kangaroo sort of running into Oakski, so no shot took place. And hit into the goalpost by Jorf to keep that from going into the net. 1-1, 90 seconds to go, as Choppa tries to get something started here.
Master with the follow-up. Jorf gets the great touch to stop any sort of attack there. Choppa in their own end having to make a great save to get that down. But Oakski from close to midfield sends a rocket into the top corner. Perfectly touched. Not top corner, top middle. No defenders able to get there. Oakski increasing the Golden Bears lead. 2-1 here. Just over a minute to play. Choppa puts something towards the net, just wide of the post. No teammates there to get the rebound. So G's going to have to take this from their own end off the sidewall, get past a couple defenders, not able to do it. Choppa able to send it back into the Golden Bears end. Jorf's going to collect it, try to go for the bounce over Master. They're not fooled. So G not able to get there. So Oakski and Master come together. Oakski getting the better of that exchange. G able to get a good pinch off of Master. Has to keep pushing this one along themselves. Space Kangaroo gets up. The 50 doesn't go their way, so Oakski has to come flying across all the way around. Jorf's going to collect it, bring it into the midfield, or sorry, the midfield scoring box. That gets swept away by G. Oakski now up off the back wall. Choppa makes a great touch. Oakski puts a shot off the post. And Space Kangaroo trying to just seal this one for their team. Does so, tucks it inside the near corner, flying away. 4 seconds left. This one looks like it's going to go the Golden Bears way and tie this match at 1 apiece.
Yeah, that was a really impressive goal. 2 defenders in net. So the Golden Bears putting enough pressure on to overcome 2 games in a row now, but Bay Ridge Blazers, even if it says they're blue, they're not. Doing a great job, actually. You know, the scorecard doesn't really show it, but it's a pretty even match, wouldn't you say, Andy?
Yeah, the scores themselves aren't like reflecting of it, but if you look at the shots, pretty even, 4 to 5. Like that could have gone either way. A couple missed bounces here or there for either team, and this could have been a totally different landscape of that game.
I think so.
Golden Bears and Bay Ridge Blazers tied at 1, going into the third and final match of this one to see who comes out victorious. I can't remember exactly the space between them in the standings, but I think even if the Bay Ridge Blazers win this one, the Golden Bears will still finish in first place. I'm not sure what that does for their finals bracket.
Yeah,
but looking to be a good tournament there.
Well, yeah, you could imagine what this series would look like as a grand final, right? I mean, that would be super back and forth. Okay, so we're going into Game 3. Is our last match of the night and of the season before going into the final tournament May 10th. We're getting quite a show here from the Bay Ridge Blazers and the Golden Bears. Clock's reset. Teams are on the field. Here's the kickoff. It's Jorf running into Master. G right there behind, able to chip it over the midfield line. Oakski hitting across. It's Choppa now. Finds the opposing backboard. Jorf hitting it way across and downfield. It's G who's able to catch it, take possession. This might come down in front. Needs to get cleared away. Master had a long run at it. And then a shot from G. Found the crossbar. That was a close call. Both teams looking for an early goal, I'm sure. Here's Oakski fighting with Choppa. Oakski gets demoed by G. Choppa now with possession. Half a tank of boost. Tries to find a teammate midair to pinch with. Here's Choppa clearing away. Jorf with a great touch. That almost gets in. Set up from Oakski. Midfield, nothing of it. Long clearing boom from Masta. It finds Jorf in the defensive end. So Choppa with another shot all the way across. It could drop down and in. Oakski gets it just high of the net. Master following up with a shot on. And now Jorf challenging G on a 1-on-2.
Choppa just trying to send one down. Gets touched away by Space Kangaroo as Master now trying to get a pass over to a teammate as Choppa comes in, but is demoed by Jorf. G trying to leave this one. Gets it around the goal mouth. Tries to get it over to Master. Not able to get past Space Kangaroo. 3 defenders for the Bay Ridge team on the backboard there. Luckily, nothing comes of it. Oakski trying to get something out towards somebody. No teammates with them. Just going to pass this one back into their own zone. Jorf now collecting off the back wall. Demoed by Master, but no team members with them for them to make something of that timely steal. Master makes a tremendous save on the Jorf shot. That was a rocket that gets swept away. Oakski now trying to get something up to Jorf. G gets enough of it to cause the Golden Bears to have to circle back. Space Kangaroo off their own end wall. Kind of fakes over 2 team members of the Bay Ridge Blazers. Oakski now keeping it inside the attacking zone. Gets a bump on a defender. Puts a shot off. It just hits the crossbar. Cleared out by Master. Jorf trying to get a pass over to Oakski, who puts a shot on. G's going to make another save. Here comes the G pass. Or sorry, the Oakski pass over to Jorf. G makes the first save. Can't get the double touch. And this is the first goal of our game. Golden Bears going up 1-0 just under halfway through.
I mean, that's tough for any team to defend, shots coming in at that pace. And great mechanics by Jorf, who managed to somehow get a second touch, because I don't know if both of those saves were from G, but the Blazers defensively doing a great job keeping the Golden Bears just a 1 at this point. 2 minutes on the clock. Here's Oakski battling with G. G trying to chip it through. Doesn't get around the corner. Choppa's going to take a shot at it. And it's stopped by Oakski. Followed up by themselves underneath. Space Kangaroo with a bit of a fake here, leaving room for Oakski to sneak in under the crossbar.
Yeah, a couple of maybe fakes. G not able to get there in time. Oaksie going to tuck that one under. 2-0, just under 2 minutes left. We know this Bay Ridge Blazers team is able to come back in time. Space Kangaroo wisely leaves that one, sees G lurking. Jorf trying to get a shot off. G there, makes the save yet again. Master goes underneath the defender. Oakski's there at the midfield, able to block that one. Ball bouncing midfield now, waiting for somebody to come through. G and, Choppa looking to get something going. Space Kangaroo not able to get anything happening as the boost tank runs out. Here's Jorf now from their own end, gets past Choppa, tries to get a pass over to Space Kangaroo, interrupted by Master. Jorf doesn't quite get the touch out front of the net they were looking for. Oakski now has to play it off the sidewall. Pre-jumps, no boost, not able to get anything there. This is going to allow the Bay Ridge Blazers to get it back into the Golden Bears' end. But Jorf's there. G not able to get up in time, and Jorf makes this a 3-goal game.
Why can't I make shots like this? Watch Jorf, chips it up, watch this. Rocks forward and able to get way more momentum on that shot than G was expecting. Which I'm sure G was expecting some momentum, but what a great shot by Jorf for a number of reasons. So Choppa and Jorf connecting at midfield on the kickoff. Here's G following up. That's a shot. What a save by Space Kangaroo. That almost found its way in. And chipped up, bouncing. Couple cars running into each other. Jorf almost finds the pocket. Another great save by G, who now is able to take possession. Choppa on the far side of the field. So G's taken out of the play. Masta able to turn that into a shot. Nothing of it. Now Masta getting a demo on Jorf. Here's G with a great read on the sidewall. Cleared away. Jorf's back in action already. Masta.
G trying to keep this one going. Choppa's going to cycle through. Trying to get a pass over to Master, but Choppa, the ball gets just enough angle out of the corner, cutting this lead. We've seen goals in 3 seconds and 7 seconds so far tonight, so this one's definitely not over if we can get a lucky kickoff play here for the Bay Ridge Blazers. 15 seconds. G able to get control of that one. Maybe a smart play by the Golden Bears there, allowing some time to come off the clock here. Space Kangaroo trying to put a shot up. Choppa not able to get enough. Space Kangaroo basically putting the dagger in this one. 4-1 with 4 seconds left. And after losing the first game of this match, the Golden Bears come back to take the next two to take this series 2-1.
And what a series it was. What a spring season it's been. Oakski stayed parked for this one as the clock counts down the final seconds on week 5. And what a great time it's been. So congratulations to the Bears. And that's it for Andy and I. It's been a great 5 weeks. The finals tournament happening on May 10th. And you'll be able to watch it right here on YouTube. So make sure to hit like and subscribe on the Ontario School Esports Association YouTube channel. We do appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. Thank you to the players and coaches for giving us the opportunity to enjoy some Wednesday night Rocket League each week. Wishing everybody good luck in the finals. From Rage Quit Andy and myself, Nate Goes Live. It's been a slice. We'll see you next season. Take care.